Get them what they really want this holiday season. Adventure and excitement. Conquer the holidays by leasing the 2020 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive for only $187 per month. That's right, give the gift of the all-wheel drive CR-V for only $187 per month. Erie is who we are, Honda is what we drive.
Go ahead. We've got Cleve, Tori, and Sydney for you guys. And if you're not talking, keep your microphone muted so we can keep the video focused on you guys.
Whoa, the picture just went correct. Jay's on here? Oh, okay.
I know it's a game changer, Coach.
Hey, Coach. Tom Reismember, how you doing?
Tom, good. How are you?
Good. I know it's tough now with no PSAC play. Obviously you guys want to keep playing, try to get to the tournament. Just what's the message to your team right now as you guys get ready for the season?
I mean, I think the message that's been pretty consistent even since the beginning of the semester is we're going to control what we can control, and that's been the message since the beginning of the year. It's been a monthly message, a weekly message, and a daily message. And that's all we can do. And we want to do the best that we can. Every day that we were able to practice, that we're able to do things, we want to do to try to get a little bit better every day. And I thought we did have quite a few days and a couple months there where we were practicing and things were going well and headed in the right direction.
Cleve, what's been the overall attitude out of your players? Just the overall makeup and just handling this situation, since nobody's got a handbook and trying to prepare or even plan for something like this.
Right. I mean, the phrase, one of our administrators, one of our people here at Gannon used this phrase, and I just loved it. It was like, this is my first pandemic. It's true. This is my first pandemic. I've never had to do this. I'm a little on edge because I'm not used to December being quite like this. 35 or so years of doing, and not including playing. I'm certainly not used to this December being like this. I'm driving my wife a little bit crazy, but I couldn't be more proud of the way our girls have handled it. I tell you, we started out, you look at all the way back to last year when the NCAA tournament is canceled and we're getting ready to play the next day and all that. I thought they handled it unbelievably well then, and then go in and not knowing what's coming. I just think, that our players have really bought into that, what I was talking about earlier, controlling what they can control. And I think our leadership on the team has been a great example of that. And our players have bought into that. And we're going to, step into every practice and try to get better. And I do think we've gotten better over that time, but I couldn't ask for better attitudes, better focus. We've been able to compete in practice. And they've used those opportunities to get better each day.
I'll open this one, John Leidig.
Go ahead, John.
I was just going to ask Tori or Sydney, second year with Coach Wright, how much more advanced do you guys feel that you're at this point this year compared to last year, despite the pandemic restrictions and things that you guys have?
I think that it's helpful with the second year coming in because last year it was kind of like we were all freshmen learning the new ways around the program. So I think this year it's really helpful to have some upperclassmen that know what's going on and we're able to coach our freshmen a little ourselves because we strive to have a player-led team. And so knowing that, and especially with everything going on with the pandemic, like obviously we have never experienced anything like this either. So we have our own learning to do. So anything that we can help out with our freshmen, we want to be able to do.
Sid?
I didn't know. No, like Tori said, coach always makes it like an emphasis to do a player-led team, which really helps us. I've never been through a pandemic. Nobody has on the team. So just like Tori said, being able to coach the freshmen coming in just kind of helps us progress through our season because we've been with Coach Wright for that year. And we've experienced what they're experiencing right now is what we experienced last year with him. but I think that we've all been progressing very well. And like Coach said, taking opportunities, and we've just been taking it day by day and just kind of trying to control what we can control mainly.
My question's to all three. Coach, I'll start with you. Where do you guys still find the motivation at practice? You mentioned about the attitude, but to have that inner drive still going and not having an idea of when you'll be playing, where does that come from?
Ladies, want to go first? Or you want to go first?
I can go. I think we strive to compete against not only ourselves, but each other in practice. Coach has practice set up, so we do quite a few drills where almost all of our drills are competing. We keep score. Even if it's some 3-on-3, 4-on-4, it doesn't have to be full out playing. We keep score, and we always want to win, and we kind of make it fun. So that kind of keeps us motivated, and just like being together and bonded together and having like a good team atmosphere also keeps us motivated because we all love being together. So we love practice. So it kind of helps us just keep going, and just Coach does a good job at like, we're going to get to play. We're eventually going to play no matter when it is. So we just have to keep working towards that goal.
What kind of motivates us is, like Tori said, just being a family. Like, it's basically 13 sisters working together. Like, we literally love to compete. You can see it in every one of our practices, and we cannot wait till we get a game, but we know it's eventually going to happen. It just has to wait for that time, especially through all this pandemic. And just kind of bringing that energy to practice. We are the ones that have to provide the energy. So once we get that energy going, it's just going to help us motivate going through practice and stuff like that. It's not going through the motions. We like actually want to get after it, and we compete 100% of the time when we're in practice. And I think it's going to reflect when we eventually get into a game.
Jay, I think the way I love both those answers. Tori's my favorite because she said she loved practice, but I'm teasing, of course. But I think what we really tried to do, because again, it was different. I mean, we had a protocol where we had to go through, and we were in pods early, and we were doing a lot of different things. Is we've tried to set up practice so that we would do competitions every week, and then we have a challenge board, which we always have a challenge board, but it was different this year in the fact that we were trying to incorporate. We'd have a gear day. We had a gear day, so we spread our gear out all throughout the entire year. Because it just was different. So like every Friday we're getting, or Monday, I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Monday. We got a piece of gear, and every Friday was a competition day. And then we were. I, as a coach, trying to do those different things. I felt like it was just trying to piece together some motivation for them. There's parts about this that I've enjoyed because it's the first time in my entire career we've been able to have a preseason where you could go really slow and you could get down and really, grind down on some things that you really want to get better at. And especially at the Division II level, since we don't have the summertime to work out in like Division I does, we were able to get some of that extra time. We spent some excellent time in the weight room. Our girls have absolutely gotten stronger physically. They have really focused on that, and I think that's helped them. And I think they've seen some results in the weight room. And certainly those kind of things, our hope and our desire is for that to not only prevent injury, but obviously get us stronger, make us better, help us to compete longer, and to be able to just to do a better job.
Cleve, you added a lot of height in terms of your additions. Obviously, one you know pretty well, but how important was that to you going into the season, adding the height, knowing obviously you already had Tori there on the inside, but you were going to be losing a couple in terms of Haley from last year?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're, talking about our freshman. It's, Mikhail Nation. She's got some good length to her, very athletic, and so she will really help us. Runs like a deer. Reminds me of, she's not exactly like her, but reminds me of Jennifer Pappage, who could just run really well and had good quickness. Mikhail has that potential, and then Jaden has good size for a guard and good strength, and both of them. And I feel bad for both of them because they're not having the typical freshman year. And so, and I tell you what, that's not easy for our team either. It's not easy for our team. Our team, as Tori said, they had that entire freshman year last year. And now, these guys, Mikhail and Jaden are having to go through it. And it's just been different for them, and somebody, and it might've been one of these two on here. We've been doing individual meetings virtually right now. And one of them said, next year it's going to be like, they're really going to be freshmen again, because they're going to get two different experiences as far as what they're going through. The other girl, I'm trying to get to know her a little bit better. Emma's, what's interesting about Emma is I've always known, from a dad's viewpoint, I always knew, what I felt like I could see her, as a player and knew what she was good at and things like that. And it's different seeing her in coach's eyes and through a coach's lens. And one thing we've tried to do is, she'll come in, she'll go, I need, or it's always coach when we're on campus. And if she is at home, which she rarely comes home, rarely, but when she is at home, she'll come up, she'll go, okay, I need dad. And so then I'm dad then. So, but it's been cool. I hope, I tell you, I think the girls have done a fabulous job of and just, I couldn't have asked for them to have accepted all of our new kids as much as they have. We have a special bunch where I think they're really trying to buy into the kind of culture and environment we want here. And, when you have your daughter come into play for you, it could cause issues. And I think Emma's handled it really well. And equally, if not more, I think our team's handled it fabulously. Did I just say fabulously? I think our team has handled it really, really well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to use fabulously. That's just not I don't know if that's a coach's word.
You mentioned the fact you can take right now things a little bit slower, but in terms of adding and advancing the style of play that you want to have from last year to this year, knowing you're not playing games and seeing how things are working out, how do you decide as a coach what's too much and where you maybe say, okay, we've implemented this much, we've got to hold off until maybe we see how this all works out in game action?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's been an interesting one. I think that's a good question, because you're right. We really didn't. There's a time you don't know when you're going to play. It's not like you have a set schedule, and where we've always had that before, and you could kind of time everything. So all we did was I just kind of went slow. I mean, I just tried to put the big rocks in first, put all the big rocks in first. And it felt like if we had the big rocks, if something happened that we could get a competition in, and I think we're going to have to do this in the second semester too. I think there's going to be really quick turnaround on things. And as long as we have our big rocks in, and I think with time, we'll be able to add a few of those nuances, those wrinkles, those things that, that will help us as the season goes on. But I think we have quite a few of the big rocks in. We certainly have the biggest rocks in right now. And so we'll continue to add to that when we come back.
Coach, you have two seniors this year, right?
One senior, Sydney.
Okay. Maybe this is a better question for Sydney then. With the extra year talk, have you tried to talk her into coming back next year as well, or has that conversation not happened yet?
Okay, you're asking me, you're asking Sydney?
Either one can answer.
Go ahead, Sid. Why don't you answer this? And they've heard my voice enough.
Yes, we did have the extra year talk. I am excited to come back and play for the next year. And I couldn't be more grateful for having a coach like Coach Wright. He's just definitely changed my style of play, and he's definitely helped me grow as an overall person, not just inside basketball, but just as a overall person. And I know this year wasn't how I wanted my senior year to look like picture-wise with the pandemic, but I'm just happy to be able to come back and be able to play with my team again because I literally love them like family. So I'm excited to come back, and I'm grateful for Coach to allow me to be back.
Tom, just so you know, the amount of money she offered me was the right number. So I said, okay, you can come back. No, no, we're really happy she's going to come back for sure.